eruption. This is the way that we bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. Igniting the fire within you, exalting the melody of freedom. These are the things that will bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. So gather the faithful, tell everyone to stand and shout loud. Shout loud, shout loud. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down, down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down, down. Down, down, down.
Let me tell you, it's in the air. Joy is in the air. Love is in the air. Can you feel it? What it feel like? Freedom. What it feel like? Don't sleep on it, brother. You might get left, sister. Can you feel it? What it feel like? Freedom. What it feel like? Justice. No need to be counted, cause I am down. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. Down for the end of racism, for the end of bigotry, cause I am down. For the end of misogyny, that's right. For all the isms out there, just down, down, down. Let's bring it down. Rise up, people.
Into the cries of contrition. This is the way that we bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. We are the children of Eden, dancing and celebrating freedom. We are the ones that must bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. So gather the faithful, tell everyone to stand and shout loud. Shout loud, shout loud. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down, down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. We've got to bring it down. Down. Stand up and shout. Stand up and shout. Rise
Accountability
together.
starts now. The Eric Dawson Radio Show.
Yeah. Rise up. Stand up, shouting loud.
If you are not prepared to come to that table and to represent that voice, don't come. Because we don't need any more brown faces that don't want to be a brown voice. We don't need black faces that don't want to be a black voice. We don't need Muslims that don't want to be a Muslim voice. We don't need queers that don't want to be a queer voice. And if you're worried about being marginalized and stereotyped, please don't even show up.
Hey guys, Welcome to the Eric Dawson Show. Yo, I got bright lights on me today. And I got a tight box I got to sit in on my arms to look like they're cutting off the screen. Well, welcome to the Eric Dawson radio show. Trying to get my studio back in order. The headline under the Agee of COVID-19 was too close to call. So we're going to have a conversation about what's going on with the election. And Vincent, if you want to, we can also have a conversation about this new venture that you and I are going to embark on and let people know about it, right? Because it's going to be going down. So there's a lot to talk about. And, in a rush, I poured some apple juice, and I don't even know if I should drink it. Well, not apple juice, apple cider, but I sipped it just before I went live, and it's fermenting. So I don't know if I'm going to do that. But anyway, welcome everybody. Welcome Vincent Squire. Welcome all of you listeners. Please hit the share button so that we can hopefully have a lively conversation about what's happening. So what's the word, Vincent? Oh, maybe he's not there. All right. So anyway,
I'm here, but I want to know what's the word is way too vague for all the topics you got going on today. So what's the word on what?
Just a general word, man. I say, so if you ask me what the word was, I'd say duck.
Oh, brother.
See, if you ask me the word, I'd say duck.
Well, I'm cautiously optimistic for what's going on and what's happening. So I'm not going to say duck. I'm just going to say dodge.
Okay, well, duck and dodge, right? 3 words: run for cover. Another 2 words: lock and loaded.
Lock and loaded. There are people who are locked and loaded.
Locked and loaded, baby. Hey, I had a friend call me the other day. She told me she went and bought a shotgun. Hello. The black woman told me, she said, Eric, you know what? I went and bought a shotgun. That's it. I said, just be careful because it's got a big kick.
By the way, there is a black militia.
Yes. Look, I'm telling you. Gun purchases, right? Gun ownership in the black community is on the rise.
Yes.
So listen, when she told me that she bought a gun, she bought a shotgun, right? I told her, I said, just be careful because you don't want to dislocate your shoulder.
Don't lie. It's a heck of a recoil of a shotgun.
It is a hell of a kick, man.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but then there's the shotgun that's got a really improved buffer on it. The pump with a 12 gauge slide.
Uh-huh.
You can pop that bad boy. It doesn't kick very much.
Now listen. I told her, I said, Amina and I, we are submitting our permits, and we're gonna get 2, one for the front door, one for the back door.
See, I'm not a shotgun man. I'm more of a 30-30 type of guy. You can pop that bad boy. It doesn't kick.
Well,
I can pop, and more like I'm 60 caliber. I'm sorry, 50 caliber train.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, I could pop you off at a mile away.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm trying to I'm trying to share the show. Bear with me, guys. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong today? I don't know. So all right. So do you want to just jump right into it? Because I got no real fodder, man. I mean, my fodder is about the American people who are currently fighting a battle that really has nothing to do with them. It's all about the oligarchs and black Americans in particular are just pawns. I posted a video on my page that I hope everybody takes a look at. And
should we give a disclaimer about that video?
Which video are we talking about? Because I got a lot of videos.
The the one that you just posted.
Wait a minute, which one did I just post? Which one are you talking about? You know, I updated my. You know, go ahead, Vincent. I'm having one of my senior moments right now. I really am. Well, because a couple things happened, man. I got a notification. I've been getting it, and I bypass it. It says update my iOS on my iPhone, right? And so today I was groggy when I woke up, and I said, what the heck? Let me go ahead and do it. And now all my buttons are all over the place. So, and I'm the kind of guy I told you, I got all black socks in my drawer, right? I like to keep things the exact same way. So when something's out of whack, it's all out of whack for me. So I'm a little discombobulated. But what post in particular are you talking about?
Let's see. I got one with Eric Dawson yesterday. Eric Dawson updated his video, updated his post.
But but I'm saying, which video in particular are you referring to?
Hold on, let me
drop
that.
From Europe, and here's one from America.
See how many you actually did.
So the video that I'm talking about, hold on for a second.
The one where you're talking about Sarah McBride, Rich Torres,
No,
Corey Bush.
No, not that one. Not that one. Hold on for a second, guys. And I'll try to put it in this link too. The video is it's a YouTube video. It's entitled "How the Black Vote is Used to Benefit Everyone But Blacks." Right? And Dr. Claude Anderson is being interviewed. This is a 1995 interview with Dr. Claude Anderson. And we're in 2020. But this is a 1990, I believe it was a 1995 interview with Dr. Claude Anderson, and he talked about this. You guys got to watch it. It is compelling. But when you do watch it, you'll understand that all of what's going on right now is this gamesmanship. So anyway, we'll talk about the election. Got Diana Murray Clements on the line.
Good morning.
Well, Diane, you know what? I can't. Oh, there we go. So we're going to talk about. Good morning. So we're going to talk about that video. I don't know if you saw it, Diane, that I posted about the black vote, not for black people, but for everybody else. Dr. Claude Anderson, right?
I did.
So we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk about what's going on with the election. Deception on both sides, people. Deception on the left and deception on the right. That's why I'm saying duck, because they're throwing rocks at each other, and we're right in the middle. Duck. Diane, in my life.
Get down on your knees and crawl.
Okay, you got to listen. Hit. That's incoming. You got to start yelling incoming. Oh my gosh, it's horrible. But black folks, I mean, Dr. Claude Anderson lays it bare in this video from 1995. Mm-hmm. And so you got to ask yourself, black people, like, what the hell is going on? What are we doing?
Look at the actual mechanics of the a la cartes, and this has been since, history. The rich always find a way to get the poor to fight their battles. And that's what we're seeing right now. I mean, you're looking.
No, it's more than that. It's black ignorance. There are black people out there who do not want to accept that America is racist and that we are not Americans the way they think that we are. That's the problem. See, when you keep ignoring the truth and making up stuff to make your side look good or to make excuses, it makes it worse. We can't save ourselves because we don't believe that we need to be saved. We don't think that that this is not racist. Trump is the epitome of racism. And when Trump leaves, the white man is going to give us another Trump and say he's the epitome of racism. But it's going to be true. So they'll change out the names and we'll still have a problem because we ourselves have not acknowledged that we are part of this problem too of ignorance. The ignorance of allowing it to happen.
Yes. Yeah. The repercussions of our own denial.
Well, so here's what's happening. Both sides are lying. And they're getting caught in a lie as they lie. They're getting caught in a lie as they lie. So last night, Steve Kornacki comes on, right? And he says, he starts looking at Arizona. Was it Arizona he's looking at again? I think it was Arizona, right? And he was saying, the first wave of votes that came in were for Biden. The second wave, I think, that came in were for Trump, or maybe it was vice versa. And then he's saying, now there's a third wave of votes that are coming in. These are these ballots, right? And he's saying Trump is getting 59% of them. Now, they've already called the state. But the gap is narrowing, right? And Trump is getting 59% of those votes. So, what's going on? And I said this to you earlier, Vincent. You got Fox News saying 264 Biden, 214 Trump. Then you got MSNBC and all of the left media saying 250 something for Biden, right? And 254? Is it?
253.
Right.
CNN, MSNBC, and ABC have been posting 253 Biden, 213 Trump.
Right, 253 Biden, 213 Trump. Now, here is my philosophy about all of that. On Fox News, what they're trying to do is dog whistle, right? So they're saying, hey, listen, Trump's about to lose this thing. So him going to the courts makes all the sense in the world. So get ready, guys. There's going to be a fight because he's about to lose it. That's why they're posting 264. Right?
So wait. So go backwards. Did we ever talk about why he got the barricaded fence around the White House? Does that not seem like Adolf Hitler when Hitler died inside his own barrack because he barricaded himself away from the people? Like, what's going on here with that?
Well, I think it's all imagery, right? It's all theatrics. It's theatrics on both sides, right? So on the Biden side, right, it's to make Biden look presidential now, and on the Trump side, it's to give this sense of anxiety, right? That people should be concerned that their lives are going to fundamentally be screwed up now because the guy who was fighting for their very specific narrow interests may be on his way out. So both sides are posture. I'm telling you, it's all posturing.
So what do you think about when you look at the map and you see all this red all through the middle of the country and then the blue sprinkled on the coast of the east and the west? What do you think people are really thinking about what America is? Because in their minds, and going into this election, and we've had conversations with people, they believe that because of coronavirus, that would knock Trump out.
Right.
That would be the end of his term.
Right. So Diane, they're not thinking about America. See, this is the deal, right? They are thinking Democrat, Republican. They've been conditioned to think about Democrat and Republican. Because if they thought about America, they would realize how screwed up they are. But because they are fighting for a team, they're fighting for a team. Not their team, somebody else's team. And the team that wins is going to get ring. We never get any. Look at my fingers. How many rings do I have? I got none. But all those teams, they all got rings in the form of contracts, in the form of best health care the country can offer, in the form of patronage jobs that they give out, in the form of a nice salary and influence and power. They got all they ring down. We have nothing. We have nothing. But we're fighting. We're fighting to make sure they win again.
We got hope.
We got hope. Keep it alive. Keep it alive.
We got hope. God.
Where's Jesse Jackson? Let's resurrect Jesse Jackson.
On Facebook yesterday, and somebody said it this morning. Well, I'm hopeful. Okay, hold on to that hope.
Okay.
they're hoping that Trump gonna win.
They hoping that Biden's gonna win. I know Jody must have a migraine and a hangover for all the drinking we did for every state that Trump won.
Listen, and he's not. Look, and he's not done. So listen. Nevada, razor thin. Arizona, razor thin. Pennsylvania, razor thin. What?
Have they called North Carolina yet?
Nope. Nope. But understand. people like Gaetano, right, is on the thread going, he's gone, he's gone, he's gone, right? And see, they're gassing you up, Gaetano. Right, they're gassing you up.
Wait a minute. What's going on in Georgia?
Hey.
Because wait a minute. We talked about it yesterday, Eric, you and I. So suddenly there's a water pipe bust.
Oh, yeah. And that right. Oh, yeah. Just the water pipe just happened to bust, right? Not only that, listen. There was a major dump of votes, right? And what they say, 138,000 votes, and 100% of them, 100% of the 138,000 votes were Biden votes. Not one for the other guy. Listen, all I'm saying to you guys is this. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I get that you don't want Trump, but are you really willing to turn a blind eye to the theft? Come on.
Wait a minute, Eric. This is also funny to me because us from behind the scenes, we know what they do.
Diane, listen, when my brother ran for council, right, he was 11 votes. Well, when he ran for council, it was a runoff between him and Charlie Bell in Newark, right? Then they had to go, so they checked all of the votes, and then they had absentee ballots, so mail-in ballots, right? Because we ran a mail-in ballot campaign, and I can't tell you how lawyered up we were in Newark. In Newark, we were lawyered up because we know what they do. We know what they do. Hold on. We know what they do. Yes. Wait, listen. I want to say this to you.
Election sitting in front of the judge talking about no, you going to throw those votes.
Yes. This happens in Essex County every election. So for you now to believe that somehow the National Democratic Party is not engaged in some form of what happens every election season in Essex County, you have lost your cotton picking mind. Are you serious?
Oh, no.
Jody.
You did not say cotton.
Hey, Jody,
Let me thank you, because yesterday...
You're breaking up, Jody. I need you, I need your voice crystal clear on today's show.
Oh, here we go.
So yesterday, I'm going to thank you first, right? Because yesterday I walked up to my door and I so needed this moment. And there was this little box. And I'm addicted to ordering things online. I'm like, oh God, what is it now? And I saw Grandma Emma, I was going to lose it, right? I put it right in the house. I'm going to report. It was spent differently. It was still chilly, still a little cool. Oh my God, I gotta say something. So I take it out. As soon as I opened the peach cobbler, I could smell the nutmeg. So I don't know if people are not used to this, but nutmeg seems like a seasoning that I grew up on as a kid. And a lot of people now the face nutmeg, the cinnamon, two distinct tastes, and I loved nutmeg as a kid. So I opened it, I popped it. When I tell you, put the dog and my coat, I throw my coat stuck up on the floor. Lena let the dog out. I tell you what the dog put in. He doesn't eat my coat, but this is one of my favorite coats. I'm arguing with the dog, but at the same time, I already had the spoon in the left hand, and I was taking it. Eric, that is so freaking tasty. And I'm not a sweet eater, right? It is. I swear to God, those eyes, I'm so good. I woke up at 2 o'clock this morning. I pumped up the boat, right? Just got in the bed, and I'm looking at Donald, and I'm eating. I ate it till like 3 o'clock this morning until I had to drink water because I was like overcome with the taste. It was awesome. Thank you so much. When I helped my mind so that I could get some down here for the holidays.
Hey, listen, man. Hey, Jody, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I kept telling you, through us, texting and inboxing that we were, working on trying to figure out how to ship. Because people, and Diane will tell you, people all over the country are trying to figure out how to get this. And Diane asked me from time to time, Eric, what are you putting in this stuff?
You know what I really
So good.
What are you, the crust or whatever it is? Because like I got this big bunch of it, and it it melts in your mouth, and I'm trying to figure out what it is. It doesn't taste like, it doesn't have that doughy.
See, wait, stop, Joe. See, there you go. See, that is the thing that my grandmother did, which set hers apart. Most peach cobblers, and I'm gonna put her name out there right now because we're gonna call her out for a challenge. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Patty, right? Yeah. But even
processed mess that she made. Ooh.
Yeah, but even hers, right? So that crust, if it sits too long on the peaches and the juice and stuff, it gets soggy and doughy, right? And the thing I loved about my grandmother's is the way that she did it, it incorporated into it, right? So it wasn't a separate thing. It wasn't cobbler and crust. It was cobbler crust, right? And so, yeah. So that is the thing that sets hers apart. And I'm glad we were able to get it down to you finally. And we're going to be working on improving our shipping, so that we can ship all across the country. So we're happy. We're happy.
It was excellent. I want to give you that moment.
Diane, Diane, incoming. No, where's my helmet? I need my helmet. I need my hard hat.
I said to the young lady just now, I'm going on lunch because this is going to take minimum 30 minutes. I'm not even going to someone eating comfort. Don't do that, because we knew from the beginning, right? So that's not bottle of Moscata. Oh my God, I was so icky yesterday. I swear, Jody, you gotta stop messing with me. Yeah, man, I can't play, right? Listen, I can't even drink, liquor anymore. It's been, 12 years since I've been able to, drink liquor. But I drink my wine, and now I'm, addicted to the wine. When I tell you I took a bottle down, I was up to, 2:30.
Oh, wow.
I took the bottle down, and then I had to get up at 6. Yeah, I was gross yesterday, just gross. Okay, but it was worth it, because that night, I felt like Biden was out, and what I realized is we've been told from the beginning, right, that that he was going to, Eric, you even said it, that his folks or his constituency was going to come out on election day heavy.
Right.
But we all knew that the Democratic pot was these ballots, right? So it's nothing strange about what's happening right now. It's nothing. This is to say that someone's stealing an election.
No.
From him.
But here's the piece. No.
Posted Georgia still has 61,300 ballots.
Here's the piece. Here's the piece, Jody. Look, understand. I watch both channels, right? I don't have a dog in this fight, right? As a foundational Black American, I don't have a dog in this fight. But what I am saying to you is this: being an insider, I understand. So here's an example. When the Trump people say, now I'm gonna qualify this with this: I think Rudy Giuliani is off his goddamn rocker. Right? So I'll put that out there. That's what I'm saying. I don't have a dog in the fight. But I don't have a dog in the fight. So I'm not leaning left or right. But I think he's nutso. But what I will say is this: I worked a campaign in West Orange, and we did mail-in ballots, right? And they had people checking the signatures against the book, right? And they were casting out those ballots. So when we have right now them saying, I want every ballot to be counted. I'm asking this question, having been an insider on these local races. I need to understand how we're scrutinizing these ballots. Now,
okay, so let me say this. Let me, and I mean this wholeheartedly, even though it's going to sound horrible, right? Who gives a damn? Because here's what I mean this. When I say that, I mean this wholeheartedly. One is at 2 o'clock in the morning, that's when I finish, and I'm not even being dramatic. I like down a whole glass of Moscato looking at Trump. This is basically what Trump said at 2 o'clock in the morning. Hey, y'all, I won where I thought I was going to win, so I want the counting to stop because it's just going to be those ballots, and they're from the blacks.
No, we don't need to count them.
I don't. He basically said they're the black vote, and so we can stop counting today, right? So I don't care if Sally voted 18 times for Billy and like 18 dead people. I don't care because that has to end. That's one. Just on Trump's word, that was like insane to me that he's still that comfortable. He doesn't dog whistle. He is very outlandish. He just say his little piece, and that piece is crazy because then it twirls into point number 2, which is Wednesday morning. I'm in my bedroom. I have the TV on blast. My daughter walks in the room. She just turns to the television, and she turns to me and said, Mommy, all those people voted for Donald Trump? I said, yeah, Lena. She was like, no, Mommy, but why did they vote for him, right? The fact that today, I knew it, right? You know it, but children don't understand it, or some people are oblivious to it, that this dude actually, if they find ballots from Nancy Pelosi's backyard, let's go, baby, he gotta go. He just gotta go. I don't care how it turns out, I just need that to happen.
It's time to dump the chump. That's it.
Well, you know, Jody, Kanye West got 60,000 votes, and he just turned it. He just said that he's bowing out. So
He should have did that years ago.
There's something wrong with this country.
Yes.
There is something wrong with the people in this country.
Yes. I'm not. That's the whole point.
Something wrong. You got people. You got idiots in Pennsylvania at the counting places, and they're talking about stop the count, stop the count. You got another group of idiots in Nevada, and they're talking about count more.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, but
it is a blend of people who think how they think, and they support their side. It's the same way that people are supporting Biden. They have the same influence on the people that supporting Trump.
Yes.
People just believe what they believe they do.
But here's the thing, right? If this was me, I had this conversation with my brother yesterday, right? Like, I believe in voting for my interests. I've said this before. And a good example of it is I was so ready in New Jersey to vote for Chris Christie. I was quiet about it, but I was ready to vote for Chris Christie because I had an interest, right? I knew that good Democrats were anti-charter schools. I knew that they would not, if we got a Democratic governor in New Jersey, that my baby and so many babies in the city of Newark may have to go to those factories of death, and that it would take my choice as a parent away from me. So I don't like Chris Christie. I haven't been a Republican historically, but I'm an interest voter. So if I had to pass that to secure a better system in that city, I was so willing to do that, right? So, and I didn't really like Bush, but he kind of like endeared himself to me because he was so cocky. You know, he'd sit down with his country boots and his legs just sprawled out, and he said really wild things. It doesn't bother me. So when you say, you have to understand they have their party. No, we're not talking about a Republican. Donald Trump is not a Republican.
Thank you.
Trump does not live the creed of a Republican, or as they say, who they are. This dude don't have a party. He's not a Democrat. He's not a Republican. He's an ass, right? It would be the ass group. I don't even know how to explain that. So when you say that, right, we're talking about people, and you're seeing them. So you're seeing these people that support Donald Trump. They're not supporting the Republican Party. They're supporting racism. They're supporting misogyny. They're supporting ignorance. They're supporting illiteracy. They're supporting everything that has nothing to do with these two parties that have been in this country. I don't think that is indicative of a Republican that voted for Trump.
1 second, Diane. We got another. 1 second. We got another caller. Caller, go.
Good morning, guys. How's everybody doing?
Hey, good morning, Darren.
Good morning, Darren.
Good morning, Darren. So I've been just getting entertained by this. The Eric Dawson radio show. This is the only show that could go from talking politics to talking about cobbler.
Get your Thanksgiving orders in now. Avoid the rush.
Oh yeah. So you know, I don't believe that I'm shocked about anything that's going on. All I think this election has shown is what we knew already.
Yeah.
Those of us that's in the know anyway. Some may disagree that our country is divided along racial lines.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, once Trump became president, he just helped people magnify that fact. And I think some of the votes was also because of who the VP pick of Biden is. That's the other fear.
Right.
You know, you got to black people got to be the boogeyman.
So wait a minute, Darren. When you say we're divided on racial lines, we're divided on gender lines, we're divided. We got a caste system here, right? All of this is stuff that we've ignored, right? Well, we've been told to ignore because we were hoping, like Diane said, for a better future, right? But now all of this is laid bare. It is ugly and dirty. It is the underside of a scab, and we have to recognize it.
Can I say this in terms of the party and racism? And we have been basically beat down so much into losing our interest to all of these politicians that we've become desensitized to all of the important things that matter to us. But one thing that this thing with Donald Trump has done was waken up that hope and instilled into a lot of people the urge to fight. No, we're not putting up with this crap anymore. It's gotten way too bad, way too far, and we're at the point where we can no longer ignore it or let our desensitization stand in our way of fighting for what's right. And that's what it's all about.
I don't think we're fighting for what's right. See, here's what I'm saying to you, Vincent. We're fighting for what we're fighting for what they're telling us to fight for.
1 second, Eric. I'll give you a perfect example. I gave my mail-in ballot, and I'm going to put her on blast, my daughter. I gave her mail-in ballot. She filled out her ballot. We were in the car driving. I looked to the right as she circled Donald Payne Jr. and Cory Booker again. And I said to her, how could you even do that, knowing that we have gotten nothing from them, that they don't represent us? And she looked at me blankly like, this is my ballot and I can do what I want to do. So we are not fighting for change. We are not fighting for change. We are oblivious and we want somebody else to solve the problem that we're having. And it's not happening.
Well, look, this election was my daughter's first election, and my wife and I, we sat down and asked her what did she know about the candidates that she was voting for, and we made sure, that she understood the platform and the long-term effects of voting for these people. So we did not tell her who to vote for. We just asked her what did she know about who she was voting for. So after
Well,
that
good for you and your household, because my parents were the ones who paid attention to the politics and the news and what was going on in the community. And when they said vote for X, Y, and Z, I didn't have to ask a question or question them. I fucking voted for them.
So your whole house had one ballot. That was it.
Yeah, because it's called group voting. We vote as a block. That's right. And that's the problem with black people. We don't vote as a block. We can't even come to the consensus of one candidate, let alone one issue, to say we're going to support them. No. What we do is we're herded to the polls and we vote blue.
Oh, and another thing that we do, which really hurts the black vote, is the simple fact that after the primaries, when the person that they like is not the candidate of choice, they don't support anymore, or put in a write-in vote. Go ahead, bro.
I don't know if I agree with you guys on that, only because, Diana Vince, I think the majority of black people go and vote, and then they walk away. They don't go to city council meetings. They don't go to freeholder meetings. They don't go to budget meetings. They don't go to PTA, PTO meetings. So that's not true, Diane. That's just not true.
No. So
this morning, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to get in trouble for this, and I don't care. Right?
Okay.
I feel like
I'll drink to that.
Walk down the street, right, and just start choking out black men. Walking through the world in every urban area and every suburban area where there's a black disappointed to, even if it was the small margin of an 18% of black men voted for Trump, and then that moved up in the last election, and now we're at 20% wrong with y'all. There is something that is missing in the fundamental way in which black men are behaving.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out, right? Did they vote for Trump because they want to be on the other side of the fence as usual? Or did they vote for Trump because they still feel like even if she's black, blue, green, or yellow, that they weren't going to vote for a woman because they are in large part the biggest oppressors of black women. I lived in Newark, so I watched it, right? You can sit in a meeting with Raz Baraka, and if you're saying he's great and the almighty, then he might let you talk a little bit, black woman. But if you have any adversarial opinion against him or his people or his methodology of how to...
Oh, Jody's gone. Hello? Yeah, I don't know what happened.
This is what I have. Yeah, I don't know.
Wait a minute, who's on? I have Diane on. Is that it? Just Diane? I don't know why. Literally, everything cut off. So, Jody, please call back. But go ahead, Diane.
I don't know why people vote the way they vote, because everybody votes for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And to blame black men again, because before it was the black people that didn't come out and vote. Now it's the black men for choosing to vote for whoever they want to. Now we're going to blame them too. Like, at what point do we understand this is not our fight? We have the opportunity to vote for whoever the hell we want to vote for, who to not vote for when you don't agree with what we vote for.
Right. So I think that and Jody, please call back. But I think I got you back on. But wait a second.
Yeah.
But I think that you have to and I don't know the answer to it, right? I mean, I'd love to talk to a room full of black men that voted for Donald Trump to get their understanding of why, right?
Okay, I know why.
You've talked to them? You've talked to them?
No, I actually took a look at the focus group by black polling company. They looked at the focus group and study. Now, first and foremost, I have to give huge kudos to the black men because
One
they
second.
came
One
out
second.
and voted past their normal record. In fact, of black voters. The second thing was why they. Let's look at it. Why they voted for Trump, and there was only, in terms of black voting that they polled, 18% were for Trump, and the big reason why they said they were voting for Trump had to deal with a lot of misinformation and disinformation. They said they were voting for Trump, one, because they said, well, at least he's honest about his racism. And two, they voted for him because they said, well, at least he's doing something for black colleges and blacks in prison. And all two of those were because of fake media. They also stated that they don't listen to or look at mainstream news cycles because they don't believe them. So the information they got was on social media, or the disinformation they got was on social media, even to the point where he showed them the social media sites where they were on and said that these groups have been linked to oligarchs and Russians. So that's why we had that. And I'm going to take a little blame to that because, the whole thing was to push out and get out the word and get out the real truth of what's going on and what they're saying. And also, I could have pushed more in terms of getting out, showing people the fake sites and who they were. But even if it was just 18%, which means that Biden worked off of 82%. Okay, it still means that he is successful in it.
Okay,
by the way,
I got two more calls. I got two calls. I think Jody's back, and I don't know who the other caller was. But this is what I say. I mean, look, I would imagine that some of the information that led black men to vote the way that they did, and again, I didn't read the any of the information that you read, Vincent. But I'm sure they had an issue with Kamala Harris, not because of Kamala Harris, being black running for vice president, but Kamala Harris, former prosecutor in California, right? And the information that was coming out about her there. I'm sure that black men voted against Biden because they attached him to the '94 crime bill, right? So, and they attached him to, to the hope and change that black men may have had for 8 years under Obama, and maybe they didn't feel as though they got what they expected, right? And so they said, you know what, I want something different. So when you have a party that is a party of pandering, not a party of doing, right? And then you have those folks who they pander to say, I need you to proof up on what it is that you promised, right? And then you get on those folks for turning their backs on the party that panders because they can't proof up. I'm saying maybe, some of your anger is misfocused, right? Maybe it should be on that party and say, hey, listen, you have to do more to bring these people in.
I will say this. One of the other two misconceptions about Biden and Harris is that, Harris was a prosecutor, and, it's been alleged she did some things wrong because she believed
Don't minimize it, Vincent.
Huh?
Don't minimize it.
No, I'm not going to minimize it.
Okay.
And because I was the one who actually was upset about that. Mm-hmm. Holding information that got a man life, and then it was overturned. Okay? But, and a lot were angry about Biden, which they attached the crime bill to Biden, and everybody knew that the crime bill was Bill Clinton.
Right, wait. But stop for a second. But stop for a second. But when you have... No, Vincent, no. Vincent, stop for a second, right?
Oh.
But when you have Biden, right, not Russian bots, but Biden out of his own mouth say, like praise himself for the crime bill. He did that. He praised himself and said everything in this has my name on it. He said it out of his mouth. And so now when these black men hear what he said out of his mouth and they have a visceral reaction to it, then you want to step over here and defend the guy who was patting himself on the back because it was benefiting him politically at the time to take credit for it. And now,
first and foremost, I'm not defending him. Okay, what I am doing is giving more insight to the actual misconception.
Wait a minute, but how is it a misconception? Wait a minute, but Vincent, how is it a misconception? How, Vincent, I know my name. How is it a misconception when he said it and he took credit?
Okay, well, if you let me talk, I'll give it to you. Please stop. How is the misconception is this? It was the Bill Clinton crime bill.
Not answer my question.
And as I was saying, Biden was the one who put in the part about sexual harassment. Biden was the one who championed it and worked the Senate to make sure that it passed. Yes, that part's very true. But you also have to look at two other things with that misconception. All right?
You didn't answer my question.
First and foremost, black people were the most affected of all the crimes.
Not answering my question.
And
You're doing.
that every state, one of the part of that
Your gums are moving, but you're not saying anything. But your gums are moving, and you're still not saying. You're not answering my question. He, out of his own mouth, he took credit for something that now he's saying he didn't do. And then you're backing up the fact that he didn't do it. And I'm saying to you that he said he did it.
He said what he did. And there's no need to defend that. In fact, I support that. Because at least he's sticking to his convictions and not lying. And he also said that yes, my name is on it. But we also have to look at in that time period during the crack epidemic and everybody was getting robbed, we wanted it.
And you know what? Honestly, I think that all of that is an excuse. I feel like if this was a regular candidate, meaning Trump, right? If this was a regular Republican, I might be able to stomach that, right? But when you're talking about something that happened in 1994, that large part of black organizations,
right,
black leadership co-signed and agreed to, right? And you're comparing, because that would be a comparison, even with Kamala Harris and her record, right? She was a prosecutor. She prosecuted the law. She did her job.
Right, but here's a question I want to ask you. But Jody, but here's the issue. Let's go back to this, right? Because I know you're saying it's an excuse, but let's look at the primary, right? You didn't have Kamala Harris, who's now his running mate, defending Joe Biden in the '94 crime bill. She was blaming him. You didn't have Cory Booker, who went stumping for him once they consolidated the base. But prior to that, when he was on the debate stage defending Joe Biden and the crime bill and saying that it was Clinton's, he was blaming him for it. And so now when you now look at these two black candidates, right, sitting there calling that guy a racist, calling that guy a segregationist, saying that guy was responsible for locking black people up, right? When you had that going on the stage, now, so that's the lie that you want us to believe at the moment. But now you want us.
What you don't have.
If you're gonna let me.
But what you don't have.
I would still kill that. I would still attack that. The politics that they were doing, they were running for.
Theatrics, yeah, exactly.
And the sad part that was all they could pull out of that, right? So that was their only attack on Joe Biden, and they knew at the time the complexities of that moment, but that's all they had, right? So they're running for president, so that's what they did. But that's politics. But I'm saying to you is when you to say that because they were unhappy with Obama, that they voted for someone who openly says, hey, look at my African American over there. These are things Donald Trump did, right?
And then he agreed.
Around the same time, or prior to Joe Biden, Trump had shown his racism when he and his father wouldn't allow black people to rent states. When he called those 5 innocent babies and said that they should be killed and murdered for something they didn't even do, and then he came into the White House. He called Mexican racists and pigs, right? He has been our fundamental problem right here, right today in this state. So you mean to tell me that we're going to give black men the excuse of something that happened 25 years ago and something that happened 20 years ago, and say that they should
no. So what I'm gonna say to you is this, Jody. But what I'm gonna say to you is this. What I'm gonna say is this. Biden, for the 40 plus years that he was in office, put policies in place. So we could talk about how Donald Trump felt, what Donald Trump said, the ad that he actually took out. But you have Biden, who is attached to policy. Biden is the one who sat on the floor of the Senate, right, and said that he didn't want these people living this level of discomfort with these predators, right? So wait a minute, and back.
Okay, go ahead, finish. I'm sorry.
And back policy. So all I'm saying to you is this. So you have, look, like I said, I don't have a dog in the fight. Yep, I'll talk about Donald Trump and the ad he took out and the fact that he never apologized to those 5 innocent black young men, or now men, and that he's done horrible things, that he's a misogynist, that he's a xenophobe, that he's a liar, that he's all of those things. But I'm going to look over here at this guy Biden and say, yeah, he's a liar too. He's detrimental to the black community too.
Okay, but let's look at 2 things. Let's look at 2 things, Eric. Hold on, Joe.
1 second, Vincent. To do what Eric Dawson did, right? Just say, I'm going to put my name on the ballot. Do what you did. See, I could respect that. I didn't ride you out about that. But, in all reality, I was like, oh, God, Eric, you need that vote, right? But you stood for something. You said, these 2 men do not represent me and my interests and the interests of my community and the interests of my people, right? I am an American. I'm an African descendant of slaves. Okay, I get all of that. But what made you put the one for the other? Why would you put that? Why would you cast a ballot against either one if you were standing in your righteous indignation of both? Why would you do that, right? So that is why I say they're fundamentally wrong. If every black man, if those 20% of black men that had that issue and all the issues that you gave, if they had put their name on the ballot, so be it.
I agree with that.
If we lose the vote, so be it.
Yep, I got you.
They didn't do that.
And then, Eric, you have to look at another thing, okay? You have to look at Trump not apologizing for anything he did, Trump lying about everything that he did, and Trump blaming and saying that he didn't know those people who were in the room with him, versus Biden and the policies that he did that fundamentally affected African Americans. In his interview, he said, you know what, a lot of that I truly regret.
So listen, and I see in the thread,
hold him to it,
right? And you know what though, yeah, you can apologize to me, right? But I'll say this to you, Vincent. If I owned a bank and you stole money out of my house and you apologize to me, yeah, I might accept your apology, but I'm not going to make you the vice president of my bank and give you the key to my vault. I'm not going to do that.
We did make the man a president of the United States who did not apologize for ruining 5 black men's lives.
No, but we're not talking about 2016, Vincent. We're talking about 2020 now, right? And what I'm saying to you is this, and we're talking about Biden because you asked me the question about Biden and him apologizing, and I'm saying, so you're saying, well, because he apologized, Eric, accept his apology and give him the keys to the vault. No, I'm saying, okay, I'm saying, I heard your apology.
Is allowed and should be blessed with the opportunity to change for the better.
No, well, go ahead and change, but I'm still ain't going to give you the key.
Let me finish. It only takes 5 seconds.
No, it doesn't. It never takes you 5 seconds, but go ahead.
Part of that change is admitting you're wrong.
Got it. He admitted it.
He did that.
Got it. But that doesn't mean I'm going to give you the key to my vault. So yes.
Means that you're not.
Right.
Right now we're looking at over 48 million Americans who are.
That's fine. But I'm saying to you that maybe that 18% of men said, you know what? I understand that you apologized. Got it. But I'm not going to give you a key to the vault. And you're going to give them the key to the vault because the other 48 million Americans did.
No, what I said was that 18% of the men did not say that they were going to give the keys of the vault to Biden. They said that they were going to continue with the rhetoric, the bull crap, and the propaganda of Trump.
Right. So they're not going to give the key to Biden.
Correct.
Right. That's what I just said.
Okay. All right. Then I digress.
Okay.
But yet we do have to look at one particular thing. Okay, and of all the other past events in their lives, right now we're looking at the person in which you're talking about who has the courage to stand up and admit that he's wrong. The person that you're talking about who has the passion to fight for those.
Oh God! Oh, here's the violin. Oh my God! Listen, he ain't got no goddamn passion to admit that he's wrong. You know what he had? He had what do you call it? I'm sorry?
Remorse?
No, not even remorse. He's got ambition. His ambition led him to do that. His ambition to be in the White House led him to do that. No remorse. Are you kidding me? Wait, do you really believe that if Joe Biden wasn't running for president, that he'd be standing there apologizing to black people?
Do you really believe if Joe Biden wasn't running for president that anybody would actually care?
No, but it's okay. So you can answer my question with a question if you want to.
The only reason people want that apology and all this other stuff and talking about his wrongs is because he's running for president. No. Other than that, they could give a flying filth.
Right, right. So it's not a matter of whether I want his apology, but the way you just put it is the guy's so goddamn remorseful. He's dripping with so much goddamn guilt that he just that it was just it just was a visceral kind of gut wrenching apology that came. I'm going no. He's ambitious. He wants to be president of the United States. And then they told, and wait a minute. And you know what, Vincent? And come on, let's stop the BS. You don't believe that they told Vincent? No, but we're not talking about Trump right now. We're talking, see, stop it. Stop the deflection. You brought out your little violin for Biden. You don't believe that what occurred was that they told Biden based on some focus groups. You don't think that Fish Fry Clyburn told Biden, hey, listen, you're going to have to make an apology. See, you painted this picture like that man sat there with his wife and said, you know what? I really feel bad for what I did to black people. Let me go and apologize to them. That's not what the hell he did.
Well, how do you know that, Eric?
Because I'm an insider, Vincent.
Right? I do believe exactly what you said. He definitely was told, this is politics, right? So he was told, hey, you want the black vote, you got to do this, right? And he acted on it. You don't think that anyone has ever told Trump, hey, you, chill with all that crazy rhetoric.
Oh, I do.
Hey, you boy.
Yes.
Talking to the white supremacist group and naming them in front of America. You don't think someone ever told him to do that?
Of course they did.
The difference between the two, and trust me, I told you I have to vote for Kamala Harris. I didn't even think about Joe Biden. It was a moment, right? But do you think, if you know that that's how politics goes, right? And when you make an error, whatever the error was, and now you want to move up in this game, that you're going to have to go back and you're going to have to say, hey, do this, right? All the way up until Election Day. Anyone who knows politics knows that Trump has been told, listen, if you want this back, you have to do this. What Trump exemplifies for me is the one who says, no, I am standing in what I believe. And I do believe black people shouldn't live in suburban America. I do believe that women should go sit down in a corner and
let their husbands work.
And let me grab them by the BB. He could not he couldn't be controlled because he was
I agree.
his true self.
I agree.
And so if he couldn't do that, then yes, you were supposed to vote for the dude that at least knew politics well enough, even if he didn't 100% believe in it. But goddamn, can we have a politician for once? Can we have a president, someone who looks like a president, talks like a president, behaves like a president,
Right.
so that we
And so, right. And so to answer your question, Jody,
always quote Abraham Lincoln, and he always said to me, "Listen, son, it is a wise man who is silent and is thought of a fool than to open his mouth and remove all doubt."
Right. So Jody, to answer your question, Jody, I don't ever want to be plugged back into the matrix. See, that's what you're asking, right? So it's saying, I know that this is shit on the end of my spoon, but plug me back in the matrix so that I believe that it's a steak. See, that's Biden.
Well, Eric, what you're saying is that voting.
No, I want to know it's shit, and then I want to. No.
And there is no precedent that says that is what's going to happen.
No, listen to what I'm saying to you though. I want to always know it's shit. See, I want the smell of it, right? I want the rankness of it, because that's going to drive me to do what I need to do to preserve life in my family. See, but if I let you rock me back to sleep, or try to rock my people back to sleep, then we're never going to stand up. And I'm telling you that, and I'm going to go back to Martin Luther King, who said, be very wary of the moderate white man. See? Okay. Eric didn't say that. So now go argue with the ghost of MLK Jr.
You're breaking up, so I don't know when you're finished. Hello?
No, I'm here. Go ahead.
Okay. I agree with you. I want to know poop. And I have no problem in knowing poop. But you know what? I don't want poop to be the leader of the free world. Because the leader of the free world has been big on dividing us.
And you don't think Biden is poop?
Oh, wait. See, Eric, please.
Don't beg me. I'm giving you the time to talk. I'm just asking you a question. You don't think Biden is poop?
Can you ask the question after I finish? That way I'm not distracted. You know I'm easily distracted. I go.
All right, go ahead, Vincent.
Okay. So anyway, as I was saying, and I don't want poop to be the leader of the free world. I don't want the leader of the free world to divide us. I want him to unite us. And let me quote Martin Luther King. It is better that we live together united as one than to die separate as fools.
Okay. Do you don't think that Biden is poop?
Do I think that Biden?
This is a simple question.
No. I think. And here's my honest.
No, I just asked you a question. Yes or no? Do you think he's poop? We got a caller.
No, I don't.
Okay, caller go.
I think he's got some issues.
Okay.
Or had some issues.
Okay.
But I don't think he's poop.
Okay, caller go.
Hey, good morning, guys. Man, great conversation today, but you can't talk about 94 crime bill without talking about the trilateral attack on the black community, which was the greatest transfer of wealth out of our community. They used drugs they put drugs in the black community to fight wars elsewhere, to finance wars elsewhere.
Yeah.
Let him finish.
Can I finish, please?
Sure.
And at the same time, very rude of you, but at the same time, they made trade deals with other countries and moved all manufacturing out of these same areas where black populations live. And not to get too off the point, black people are only like 13% of the population here in America. And now we're maximizing the 18% of black men who are, most of them call themselves capitalists and business owners and voting their interests. But the 18% of black men who voted for Trump is so minuscule that, we get hung up on this conversation and allow other people to come in on our conversation and say, yeah, see, the black man is the problem, or the 8% of black women who voted for Trump. Oh, we're gonna maximize them and make them the problem. But at the same time, they right before our eyes, the reason they didn't demolish the Voters' Rights Act or they gutted it is taking place right before our eyes. And we're gonna allow these people to put a veil over our eyes that we are the ones who are putting, if Biden goes into office, black people will be the ones who this 13% of the population will be the ones who put him in it. And then when we go to request from him, we're gonna get dismissed at the damn door because, oh no, you see the 18% over there, those black guys, and that 8% of white black women who voted for him, no, y'all didn't do anything. Our power is being shown right now. So let's not attack each other and be like, oh no, why did the 18% of black men vote? Yeah, they're voting their interest. They probably business. They probably over the $400,000 mark. But that's such a minuscule number. Let's not maximize that. Let's talk about the 81% of the black men who vote, or the 92% of the black women who voted for this guy, and use that to leverage this guy into doing better for us to win. Let's stop being taken advantage of by this system.
Well stated.
This argument is like a circular fire while we're picking each other off. Come on.
So, you know what? I understand what you're saying. And I understand what you're saying. I do believe how we got here. What makes us move? Why do we vote a certain way? Why is there a gender gap? Why is there a racist gap? Then we can never move forward. So as a black woman in this country, I have a right to question the men that we have supported in the communities that we have. Listen, it's actually scary because as a black woman, you get a little even like gun shy about saying something because then you're considered a man hater, especially if you're a single black woman in this country. You get pinned as you just tear down black men. No. But I lived in a community all my life where, let's be honest, that black women have been holding that community. We've been community activists. We've been on the front lines. We've been raped and demonized and treated unfairly, taken across this country, and our looks being called strange or ugly. No one stands up for us. We have to stand up for each other. So in the spirit of that, I have a right to question the men that I have served so diligently and honestly, to say to them, why? Why didn't every black man, if they couldn't get past Biden, didn't vote for that woman? And I'm not speaking about this without clarity, right? I've been on social media for the last, let's say, 6 months during this election, being attacked in large part by black men who attack women just for having a voice. I have a right to question that, right? And I want to know about everything around me. I want to know about the 18%, like I want to know about the 90%. I want to know who they were, why they made that choice to vote for someone who has been very obviously against me as a woman, my son as a kid, my daughter as a child. So while you want to go right back to, hey man, let's come together and let's not question the bad behaviors. Let's once again stuff the dirty laundry down and not talk about what is really happening in our community. I can't do that anymore. I do agree with Eric that we can't believe that Joe Biden is going to bring this all together, right? we can't believe that Joe Biden, with his privilege, even plans on bringing it all together, right? If you want to talk about moving it forward, what we can say is we got a space right now. We got a space right now where we have shown that we can put a president in the White House. That when we vote in masses, we can bring the voting bloc up higher than it's been since the 1900, right? That is a tool we can use to force Joe Biden to have respect for us as a community, as a voting bloc, as a people.
Right,
Now,
but Jody, but here, no, wait a second, but here's my concern, Jody, right? Like I said to you, we're not fighting for us. We're fighting for Joe Biden. And so to your point about the fact that we can weaponize our vote to bring about change for our community, but and if you listen to Dr. Claude Anderson in that piece that I posted, he talks about the spook at the door that the Corporation of White Supremacy always places there to dismantle any movement that we begin to start. And so now that they co-opted all the Negro Whisperers and everybody to corral black people to bring out this vote, right? They're going to now disperse those Negro Whisperers and slave catchers back into their respective cities and towns and such. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to marginalize the black vote. They're going to marginalize black people. They're going to intimidate black folks.
But what we're looking at, and let me say this: we're not fighting for Biden. We're fighting with Biden.
No, we're not.
And Jody is absolutely right. We are now seeing the true power of the black vote to the point where they can pressure and put influence on having a black woman as a running mate. We're now seeing the true power of the black vote to the point where they're now suppressing all of the mail-in ballots that they know that came in the black areas. So no, Eric, it is not the simple fact of them. And yes, we got the spooks at the door. We got the Candace Owens. We got the Little Wayne. We got everybody who has a level of influence. That's one of the biggest reasons we got 18% who are not voting in the interest of everyone, but voting in the interest of themselves.
Okay, so
Let me apologize to Bill for having to show the birth the gender war or her gender position. That I'm sorry that you feel like a lot of us wasn't there, But some people were there. I was out in the middle of the crack epidemic and understood what was going on and trying to, where other people was putting bars on their windows and locking their doors and all they were saying is we want something done. They wasn't specific in their acts. And they used that, just like they're using it now, they used that to come up with something. Because people, instead of fighting for their community out on their street, they went indoors and put bars on their windows and locked on their doors. So let me apologize to you as a sister. And all of, like I said, I was specific in that why people are what they will want issue voters. I'm going to only vote for my business, and I'm going to only vote because I love this tax breakdown. I'm going to only vote for Trump because he's outspoken and I believe what he's saying. These one issue voters are out there, but don't get it twisted that you can be a black woman and with a white mind, just like a black man can be a black man with a white mind. So, hold on. So, as I've been listening to Dr. Claude Anderson for years and years. He's been saying the same. He's still saying the same thing he's saying now as he's been saying back then. And we have to be careful in our language that we're not putting a further wedge into already a divided people in the mindset. So. I'm sorry, because sometimes we take the weight of the world on our shoulders and feel like because nothing's changing or something. My view of it is that, men should be doing more. When the men that's out there doing it, they can't find support in their own community. So, yeah, I agree with a lot of what you're saying, but I'm like a gender divide that's getting wider. And you're maximizing the minimum and minimizing the maximum. Yeah, so that's all over. Well, and I apologize if you're shouldering those burdens.
Hey, and if you have to look at it, and I've said this on the show a lot of times, if it wasn't for the black women, the black men would have been extinct by the 70s. And yes, they have been holding it down. And they have been also the leaders in terms of our voting. They are now 56% of the black vote, because black men just don't get out there. But that was then. Now we're looking at an era where we're coming about the dawn of change and growth. And one thing, and I have to agree with what you said, brother, we need to stop being distracted by the bull crap that divides us, and let's focus on making this better now. We have a president, in his words, in his deeds and actions, says that this is what he's going to do. Let us now focus on holding his feet to that fire.
So let me ask you this question, right? So, how do we do that? How do we do this? Yeah, how do we? So let's assume, right, for a minute that Biden is going to reach 270. How do we?
Politics can change overnight.
I understand. That's why I said let's assume, right? Because I'm not listening to either of those lying stations, man. But let's assume that Biden gets to 270. How do we hold him to the fire?
It's relatively simple.
Really? It's simple?
What is the greatest wish of every elected president?
No, I'm just asking you the question.
His greatest wish is to serve a second term. So now we know that he knows, and that he understands the simple fact of the numbers that we possess, which also gives us a level of power and understanding. So it's a simple matter of this. This is what you said you're going to do. Do it, because the next election is coming up. As I have put my voice and energy into getting you elected, for the next one, if you are not living up to your word, I can put that same energy into having you defeated.
Vincent, you're so naive. You're so very naive.
Thank you.
Because you believe, who do you believe organized this vote? That's my question. That's my next question. Who do you
believe organized his vote?
No, this vote that you're talking about. Who do you believe organized this vote? Who do you believe is the wizard behind the curtain?
I'd say it would be Clyburn. Sorry.
You believe that?
Because his campaign was dying.
So let me ask you a question. Whose hand do you believe is up Clyburn's ass, making his mouth move? Right, there we go. That's my point. That's my whole point to you, right? So if you believe that at the top of the mountain is Clyburn, then I say that you're naive. So what I'm saying to you is that
I don't believe that he's at the top.
Well, I asked you and you said Clyburn.
He was the poster child of his.
They put him out there, no doubt. They put him out there, but I'm asking you who? Who put him out there? Who's behind it?
Again, I don't know.
There we go. And so because you don't know, when you say it's simple, you're simple. These people, so you believe that these black folk have not been manipulated by the people you don't even know. And so when those people decide, wait, let me finish now. When those people decide to move in a different direction because their interests call them to do so, they're going to do the exact same thing. They're going to take this herd of people, black people, and they're going to move them in that next direction.
Okay. Well, let's look at it. Now, we all know that big government runs politics. And in fact, it doesn't even take big businesses to run politics. It takes, medium-sized businesses. So we all know that. But we also know this, okay? We have seen elections where people were backed by big pockets, yet still lost because they did not reach to or talk to the people who are voting. When you sit up here and you rely and you march to the tune of those big corporations, you lose your vote.
You tell me what president fell under the rule that you just gave. What president?
Jimmy Carter?
No, he didn't.
Donald Trump.
No, he didn't. It was money.
Yeah, he's on his way down.
It was money. It was money. Are you kidding me, Vincent? You are so naive.
Okay, well let's look at the
Vincent!
other guy who ran for the last Senate race, who had
No, I said president. See, no, I said president. Because I asked, how are we gonna? Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Tyler,
No, wait.
Buchanan, and Adams. All of them fell because they had a lot of money and a lot of power, yet they could not command a vote because they could not speak to the people. They were not speaking the interest of the people. They were speaking the interest of their power base. The big problem that Trump has right now is that he's been pandering to his base, and he doesn't realize that his base is too small.
Vincent, the problem that Donald Trump had at the end of the day had to do with the organization on the Democrat side of the aisle, the money that they poured in, the mind manipulation they depended on. That's what it was, Vincent.
The only person.
And so what I'm trying to get to is this with you. But what I'm trying to get to is this. The statement that you made is such a dangerous one. When I said, well, how do we hold his feet to the fire? Your answer to me was as simple. That's what you said out of your mouth. It's simple. And I'm saying to you, it's far from simple.
You're trying to say that it is dangerous to presume that those people who have voted for him, has a level of obligation, that he has a level of obligation to them to fulfill the promises that he made to
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that,
and he, in some part of his mind, does not realize that if he does not fulfill something in that obligation, that those people will now turn on him.
I'm saying to you, it's naive for you to say I'm going to say that it's reckless for you to say it. It's naive for you to believe it. That folks voted independently by and large. That they weren't conditioned to be a part of a party, right, voting in the interest of the party and not themselves. And that this is something that has been happening, this conditioning over generations. It's naive for you to believe that that's not happening. And it's reckless for you to say it. And so when you say that it's simple,
it is not reckless.
No, it is reckless, Vincent. It is very reckless. It is very reckless.
No.
I'm going to send you a copy of the book.
It is reckless to say that we have now put this energy to vote someone in the office who's going to turn his back on us. And it did happen with Woodrow Wilson, who took black people money, who promised this progressive platform. Yet when he got in office, he furthered the gap and generational racism. Yes, that has happened. Okay? But just like him, with this candidate, he can now be removed.
Yeah.
That is the biggest power that we have.
But Vincent, what I'm saying.
But it's reckless to say that, the big powers or the Illuminati's already got it in place and who's going to win. So we don't even
No.
Black people are living in right now saying that their votes don't count.
No.
Which is why we can't get them out the vote.
No.
Or to get them to go to a PTA meeting. Or to get them to go to a freeholder meeting or a council meeting. Because they believe that the Illuminati and these big powers are controlling everything anyway.
Vincent.
That's reckless.
Vincent, so it's not about the Illuminati, right? But it is about what Dr. Claude Anderson talked about. And I'd advise you to listen to the piece that I put up there, right? Because he talks about the structural racism that exists, right? And so so you've got to deny this structure, this infrastructure that has been in place for 400 years. So when we've had all of these conversations, Vincent, around socially transmitted diseases, when we've had these conversations about Stockholm Syndrome, when we've had all these conversations about the Willie Lynch letter and the making of a slave, we have all of these conversations, right? And so now what you say, no, but it's simple. It's simple. It's simple. And what I'm saying to you is that is reckless. And it is dangerous.
No. It is not reckless.
No, it is.
The simple No,
It's uninformed is what it is.
Reckless is the simple fact of when you kill a man's hopes. And every election
No,
got cast.
no.
Everybody voted with the hope of better.
No, Vincent. But listen to what I'm saying. But not better for them. Better for who? This is what I'm saying to you. So again, so our very premise is just different, right? Because again, and I started this conversation back during the 3 years ago, when they had the election for board members, and then they had the election for U.S. Senator Menendez, and then or even Murphy, right? And I was saying, wait a minute, why are they putting up Stop Trump for Newark Board of Education elections? Why are they putting up Stop Trump for the New Jersey governor election, right? Instead of focusing on issues. Why are they putting up Stop Trump instead of focusing on the issues for Menendez, for the U.S. Senate race, right? When I was having that conversation, Vincent, people were not voting their interest in the Menendez race. They weren't voting their interest for the Board of Education race. They weren't voting their interest for the governor's race. They were voting to stop Donald Trump because of the conditioning. And so when you say now, because I'm telling you, look through the history, just those 3 years. They weren't voting any issues. It was all Stop Trump. It was somebody else's issue. But you say, in a very reckless way, naive way, that, it was simple.
No,
it's not.
Not reckless and naive.
No, it is.
None of the point was about anything in which you said. None of it.
No,
None of
Vincent,
it, Eric.
Vincent,
But the whole thing is this. The whole thing is this, Eric. We go and we vote with the simple fact of hoping for better schools, better opportunities, better justice. And right now, in terms of who is running, one is saying that I will make that happen. The other one is saying, kiss my behind, you're going to get the same old me.
Vincent, I'm not disputing what they're saying. You're missing my whole point. I'm not disputing what's being said. I'm talking about the perceived motivation behind why people are doing what they're doing and the reality behind it, right? So when we have the conversation, so look, again, I'm not naive. So when I've worked local elections, and look, what happens locally, right? Because they say all politics are local. So it happens locally in all of the different states. So we look at a national election and we just see a national election. But all these national elections are just local election methodology compiled to produce a national result. You agree with that, right? So what we do in New Jersey or in
Can I agree with it before you go to the next point?
Yeah, do you agree with that?
Okay.
Yes or no? I just want a yes or no so I can go to my next point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So now you have the mayors, right, who have a function. Then you have the county that has a function. Then you have the state that has a function in the election that pushes up to whatever national results are desired, right? So when we have the conversation about how they herd senior citizens into rooms and feed them chicken dinners and turkeys and stuff, and they just tell them to go vote for this person, right? We can't ignore that doesn't happen all over the country, Vincent. So when you're now saying to me that all of a sudden these people are woke and they're voting their interest now, when I'm saying to you, no, historically that's not what happens. What happens is, because I can tell you on the local level, they drive them to these places, they tell them what to do, they tell them how to vote. You have building captains, you have street captains, you have district leaders, you have this infrastructure that's built up that's telling them what to do. And then from the top down, the money is pouring down to these Negro whisperers and slave catchers to tell them how to vote. I'm telling you. So you're now saying that, no, these people all of a sudden...
Well, that is again, a second additive to the point. All right? Second of all, that has nothing to do with these people. Okay. Yes,
no, because I'm getting back to the question that I asked.
Sell their vote for a cheap.
Right, and so I'm getting back to this. So I'm getting back to the question that I asked you before. So now, if we look at that, if we look and say, well, that is the condition. And it hasn't changed. And as soon as this national election is over, those slave catchers and Negro whisperers will go back to subjugating those senior citizens and all those other people. They'll go back to intimidating them and go back to doing all of that stuff, right? So then when I say to you, well, so how then, if that is going to happen, how do we hold that man's feet to the fire?
Well, it's relatively simple.
Oh, it's simple again.
Their votes for the chicken dinners. He did not tell them what he was going to do. He brought their vote with a chicken dinner. There is no fire or actual platform to hold his feet to. And that has nothing to do with the president who says that this is what I am planning to do. I am looking to build us, grow us, bring us back together, and do everything possible to end some of these processes that have been affecting the community for 400 years. It has nothing to do with it.
But Vincent, you don't believe that you...
No. And third of all, I have a lot of naivete, but politics damn sure ain't one of them.
Vincent, so you don't believe that the governor's political infrastructure, right? U.S. Senator Booker's political infrastructure, Menendez's political infrastructure, Donald Payne's political infrastructure, Joe DiVincenzo's political infrastructure, Baraka's political infrastructure, that all of that weighed on how people voted?
Yes, it weighs on how people voted. But again, Eric, it doesn't weigh on the totality of votes that it takes to get elected. All it does is gives them a small base.
But that's
a small base does not win an election. What wins an election is when people come out and vote. And what wins an election is that we're dealing with now a group of people who are a lot more educated and do a great deal more research.
But Vincent, what I'm saying to you...
resources to the information.
But Vincent, what I'm saying...
Look at that.
But Vincent, again, the level of naivete is just mind-boggling for me. So this whole effort that the Democratic Party, not individuals, put together for this vote by mail campaign, that whole effort, who did that? Who did that?
The Democratic Party.
Right, that's my point. That's
the Democratic Congress.
Right, but that's the infrastructure I'm talking about. So if you were taking that away, I'm going to ask you this question, right? Just follow me for a second. Take that away. What do you think the results of this election would be?
What if we took away the simple fact of people voting?
The vote by mail. No, this whole plan that was put together.
Trump winning by a landslide.
Right. So wait a minute, because we're still talking about these same voters, right? That want different, but you're now saying to me, but they wouldn't have come out and voted if the wizard behind the curtain didn't put an infrastructure in place. And so what I'm saying to you, that same wizard can put a different infrastructure in place and get a different result that is whatever it is that they want. And so those voters, those individual voters that you're talking about, I'm saying to you, they don't march to their own drum beat. That's all I'm saying to you.
Eric, here is the big thing. You're operating on what they could do.
No, I'm operating on history, Vincent.
They could do everything that you said, but what has been done is what we have. So it's two different subjects. I can't. We're right now at the point of a close election, and they're trying to keep the black vote that has been mailed in out. The same reason.
No, but I'm beyond that, Vincent. But I'm beyond that, Vincent. But I'm beyond that, Vincent. I'm beyond that. Vincent, I'm beyond that. I asked a question that is beyond all of that, and my question was, assuming that Joe Biden gets to 270. What is the plan to hold his feet to the fire? And your response was, it's simple.
Yes, it is simple. It is simple. It's called re-election. But you consider that to be naive.
Right.
No.
Because
and let me make this clear. It is simple in the ideology of what holds his feet to the fire. What's difficult, makes it complex, is once again getting people out there to vote. That's the whole issue. That's not naivete. That's just simple politics.
No.
Now, what gets us from point A to point B is our ability to remind people of who voted for them, who got them into office, and what those promises are.
Right. So I'm going to say it's not simple. I'm going to say it's very complex. And I'm going to say the fact that what they needed were hundreds of millions of dollars, of which very little was black money put on the table, right, is what makes it complicated. So holding his feet to the fire requires that we have an economic base. Holding his feet to the fire means that we have an organization that can be supported through an economic base. And we don't have that. And so to say that it is simple, like I said, is naive. To say it is dangerous. To believe it is naive. Go ahead, Diane.
Well,
Vincent, you don't believe that, just a couple of quick questions. Do you believe that black folks were messaged into this vote?
you're breaking up. Did you say that again? I don't believe that black folks what?
I said, you don't believe that black folks were messaged into this vote?
Yes, I do.
So if you believe that they were messaged, then you know that messaging isn't really about the end result or a better result, right? But that it's about they put out a messaging that is constructed specifically for black people and what they want black people to hear and what they think black people need to hear. You do know that there is a lack of legitimacy or authenticity in that moment, right? Messaging.
Correct. That's why we talked about that 18% of black men.
Vincent, you believe that because Biden has won, right? Because it kind of feels like you believe that messaging that we fought for the soul of America, and this is the beginning of the change to get the soul of America. You can't possibly believe that, right?
No, I believe that Biden's message addresses a great deal of America. I believe that Biden's message addresses a great deal of the topics in which we have discussed on this show. And I also believe that by the simple fact of this, of all the candidates that we've had, how many can you actually say put that in writing?
So can I interrupt something? 1 second. 1 second. So here's the other naive thing.
No. They pander. They go to those fish fries and tell you what they're going to do.
Right.
But on a national scale, they don't carry that same message. They go to the other side and they tell them that, you know what, we're going to eliminate all of those low-income housing in your neighborhood. But when they come on to the black side, we're going to help you get better housing, better schools, better this. So no. We don't get too many candidates that put that in writing.
So let me say this. Let me say this. I think it's naive for you to believe that this is Biden's messaging, even. Right? Like, wait a minute. I'm like Snaggerpuss. Even.
I know it's messaging.
No. But why'd you say Biden's messaging?
And targeted for a specific group.
But why'd you say Biden's messaging? That's a think tank. Wait a minute. It's a think tank that put that messaging together. And I'm gonna ask you this question again, right? Who are those people, Vincent?
Okay, Eric, here's the thing.
No, I'm gonna ask you a question.
No. Oh, no. Let me answer that. Please, let me address that. When people hire me as a consultant, I look at what their issues are and give them viable solutions. They don't take it and put it down as Vincent Squire Consulting. They put it down as this is my policy. When Biden went to think tank, or whatever you want to consider it, because we don't really know how he did it, but whatever it is you want to consider it, and they said this is the messaging that we want to do, he had to give his seal of approval on it.
Right. So what? Oh no,
I don't care who wrote it, because the Declaration of Independence wasn't wrote by the president.
Right. So here.
By Jefferson.
Right. So here's what I'm gonna say to you, Vincent. Right. And this is just a naivete. So we can have that conversation to defend Biden, right? But when we talk about our legislators, we talk about all of our Congress men and women who have on their staff lobbyists from the pharmaceutical industry, from the oil industry, and when those the lobbyists are writing the legislation, right, and then handing it over to the congressperson, right? And the congressperson goes and says why, and then why they do it because of the money, right? And they go and they present this. People say, well, that's their legislation, but no, we got to know who's behind it, right? Because the people who are the person that's behind it, it is their initiative that's being pushed. So what I'm saying to you, Vincent, is while you sit and say, oh, this is Biden's, I'm saying, no, come on, let us wake up again. So when I talked about all of the millions and millions of dollars that started being poured into the election as things got consolidated for the Democratic Party, and people weren't so focused on where this money was coming from because all you were focused on was getting rid of Donald Trump. I'm going right now, if he gets to 270, how do we hold a man who got hundreds of millions of dollars handed to him by people we don't know who are going to call on him before you even get an opportunity to? And you say to me, oh, it's simple. Wake up, Vincent. Wake up.
Look, Eric, here is one thing to deal with your actual hypothesis.
Hypothesis?
The actual time to question who's backing
Hypothesis?
Biden is not now. It should have been 13 months ago. But that's a whole different conversation. But you want to wait till right now where he is a step away.
Oh no, I've been at listen, read my shirt.
By the way,
wait a minute.
I haven't dug into his finances.
Wait a minute.
Eric, that's not naive.
Wait a minute.
That's switching the actual subject and process and then basically distraction.
Wait a minute. No, read my shirt. I didn't just say this. Read my shirt. I didn't just say this as a Foundation of Black American, as the ADOS. I didn't just say this, Vincent. I've been saying it. We've been fighting as black people. We've been fighting for somebody else's. And now I'm asking you, who are those people? Who are those people, Vincent? Because those people showed up and showed out in the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars. Those are the people we were fighting for. Come on.
But you know what? I'll tell you what. Next show, Friday, I'll give you the breakdown of Biden's campaign finance people and donations, and then we can show you who are those people.
And what I'm saying is those are the people.
To not interrupt the fact of you believing that I'm naive. I believe that one thing is that once I show you this, you're going to go off into a whole different.
No, I won't. I'm going to say to you that Eric. I know my name.
And what we talked about, and I know you know your name, but the thing that we are talking about and what we need to get on is getting past all this bullcrap.
I tried to.
But on a candidate who's already been voted.
Well, he hasn't been voted in. But he hasn't been voted in yet. And there's the other piece of. He hasn't been voted in, Vincent. But beyond that, I moved past it and asked you a question, and your answer frightened the hell out of me when you said it's simple. I moved past it. I asked you, I said, okay, let's move past all of this. Let's make this assumption that he got to 270. So I moved past it. But then your response was, it's simple. And that's what got me going. Because I'm saying to you, that is a dangerous...
Ideology can be a simple concept, but there's always the devil in the details. Yes, and there are some details that make that a little complicated, but it does not make it impossible.
So Vincent, so you know this is crazy, right? Because now you're straining that. Because I wouldn't begin to say if a woman was in.
I want Mrs. Squire back. I can't take this. This is killing me. You're screaming, you're carrying on, Vincent, you're backpedaling. We understand you support Biden. We understand you think he's going to win or may not win. I don't know. But the point is we are not together. We weren't together on the vote. We weren't together when the media ushered Biden into this position that he did not earn because other people in the media would not give highlight or showcase to the other candidates. So he was not our choice. And that's why you have so much diversity now and people being so upset. Because you want us to all buy into everybody's cheating for Trump.
That's not what I said.
Well, let me finish. So let me finish it then. So, but you want us to buy into these things. And the thing is, we have never been on one accord to accept Biden. And we can't always say that Trump is so horrible when Biden's hands are just as dirty. So we can't say just because we support Biden to ignore the dirty. We got to be honest about all the dirtiness that's there.
Okay, and let me say this, because I don't want you to buy into Biden is our savior concept. If that's where you think I'm going. What I want you to buy into is this. We had due process in which people did show up or did not show up, which led to this result. Buy into the simple fact that this is
what is the result
that we're dealt with.
What's the result?
We have to play it out.
What's the result?
The result right now is that Biden is getting a sizable lead and is 80% in Arizona, which he is only up 69,000 votes. And in Pennsylvania, they're now rallying and about ready to go to court to stop the votes.
So what do you think?
Trumpy.
Let me ask you a question. What do you think about Eric Dixon's comment in the thread?
Listen, it's over, right? And when I say it's over, I mean in the sense that, like, you know, I think he's going to win, but like, it's just 2 days after November 3rd, right? So I'm going to ask you, like, I get it, but like that rhetoric that you're giving now is the rhetoric for, you know, November 2nd, November 3rd, early in the morning, because I think what they're trying to say to you is that, right, if we are going to effectuate the change that you seem to believe is going to, I don't know, happen through osmosis, I don't know that it's not that simple, Vincent, right? And that it's true. All of that we've seen is messaging, right? Even that website that you keep referencing and referring us back to, that's messaging. That's politics, that vote, and to understand that people didn't, maybe you did, right? But in large part, black folks, I hope, other than those that take that fried chicken, and for their vote, other than them, right? People weren't voting for Joe Biden. They were voting against Donald Trump.
Yes.
And I think what Eric is saying is, so now if you get the Biden, because you got rid of the Trump, what do we do now?
That's all I'm saying.
That Biden takes that message and it translates into action for our community. And if you don't come out of the mindset that because he put it on paper, it's going to happen, and if other people, black folks that believe it like you, then we are in trouble, and we're back to the same state that we were in that got us to Trump.
Right. And then with the last 4 minutes, wait a minute, you can, but Vincent, like I said to you, please be mindful of the time. We got 4 minutes to go. And be mindful of the time.
And I could do this in under 2 minutes.
No, you can't, but try.
Okay. Again, the greatest power that we have is our vote. The greatest point of leverage that we have is our vote. We've seen the power of our vote and leverage in getting us a vice presidential candidate that looks like a lot of us. And if we have that power, then we have the power to actually get people to hold them to their word and hold them accountable for what they promised. And I'm done.
Right. And so what I'm going to say is this in closing, right?
Talk about the show.
Yeah. Okay. Well, give me 30 seconds, and then you can talk about the show.
Good.
So the reason I asked the question is because this is going to be decided very quickly, right? And I fear that it's already too late because we've put our hopes in other people. But these slave catchers and Negro whisperers, as we speak, are being dispersed back into their cities, in states, in districts, to take the Negroes who they whipped up to create this uprising, and now they're going to be told to calm them back down. Now, talk about the show.
Okay, today at 3 o'clock on YouTube. The show is called What You Gotta Say. You will be able to zoom in live and talk to the experts. The topic today is what is going to be how do we cope and survive in a post-Trump or Trump-matic world. We have our experts, Dr. Gene Wright, clinical psychologist and pathologist. We have the Wiseman section, where we look for spirituality in terms of guidance. The Wiseman section will be...
Be mindful of time, Vincent.
an imam, a pastor, and a rabbi.
There we go.
Okay.
So
what you got to say on YouTube? Look
there,
forward at 3:00.
All right. And Diane, I noticed. So this is a springboard for to talk about some other things. No. I saw and I shared it. You have a show, online show that you're getting ready to do.
To launch.
That you can ready to launch. Yeah. Talk about it. Be mindful of time.
So quickly, it's about promoting and supporting Black businesses for our communities. Starting locally with New Jersey, but going out to the world. This Saturday at 11 o'clock on my YouTube channel, and I'll post it in the link. We're going to be interviewing and talking about women's stuff. So learning how to keep your yoni clean.
Oh boy.
Important.
There we go.
Ooh.
I can't wait for that topic.
Please send that to me, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, by the way, the co-host of our show is Eric Dawson.
Yes. So make sure you guys tune in at 3:00. I got to get my second win.
Get ready, brother. It's gonna be a ride.
I'll be ready for it. Thank you guys for tuning in, Jody. I'm glad you got the package. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I love you, sis, so much.
Love you too, babe.
Talk to you guys later. Be safe. Wear your mask. Wash your hands.